Happy New Year and welcome to I Finally Get It. On today's episode, we sit down with Michael Roberts, where he shares how business owners need to look after their health as much as they need to look after their business. Joining me in studio today is Dustin Webb, our producer, and I'm your host, Jeff Martin. Let's get it.
I finally get what it takes to take care of myself as an adult person. I finally get that it's up to me to take care of my own personal health. I finally get that it's not up to my primary care physician. You know, my primary care physician, of course, is going to be my case manager, is going to be guiding me and watching my numbers and things of that nature. But it's up to me on with the decisions that I make on a day-to-day basis as to what contributes to my good health or lack thereof. And I understand the best things that my body wants is good nutrition, being taken care of well. If I want my body to treat me well, I need to treat it well. Yes.
So I want to, speaking of memory,
yes.
I want to go back because you and I have known each other for a long time. We grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yes, we did.
So I don't know when you moved in or when I did, but
you lived on Brandywine. I lived on Yorktown.
The very next street over.
Randy Vick lived down the street.
That's right.
Street with me. Yeah.
And so I will tell you that you have not always had this education and this knowledge.
Yes.
So when did this kind of hit you and strike you?
When I graduated from college, I moved to New Orleans and I had a job. My first job out of college. I was a sales rep for Xerox Corporation at 20 years old. I mean, they saw that I was that I had those capabilities, which I still do and I always have, and that's why I'm still working in sales and relating with people, because that's what I enjoy doing. That's what I'm good at. That's one of the gifts God blessed me with. After leaving Xerox, I went to Tulane Tulane Grad School, to the School of Public Health, and I have my master's in public health. And I just really, really learned so much about the healthcare system. My brother, Jonathan, is a physician.
Yep.
My father, Jonathan, is a retired hospital administrator for many, many years as the president of Charity Hospital, Earl K. Long. And, so he's done a lot. So I've grew up in that household with them. And and just saw all that. And it just kind of came to me. And I really, really learned a lot about, in the pharmaceutical industry. That was very beneficial. And I've worked in healthcare jobs ever since then, which is, I'm in home health. That's kind of where my love is. And then it got to my own personal health. And then when you get affected, when you kind of see my own health was being affected, I had a lightning shed moment one morning when I came out of the shower and I kind of saw myself in the mirror. And I knew that I had to make some changes had to be made in my own personal health.
Yeah.
And so that was the thing that kind of spawned me. So I kind of gradually came through there through my working. And then I just kind of took on its own personal meaning to me, especially when I got into the gym and really saw the pitfalls of what happens. At one point I was at 238 pounds, and I have pictures of that on social media. And I would gone to the gym for quite some time and gone through quite a few trainers, and then finally got with my trainer, Patrick Van Duzy. And Patrick is a wonderful friend of mine, him and his wonderful, beautiful wife, Victoria, and they're having a baby, Ren Elizabeth Van Duzy, today, I think. So,
that's great.
Yes, I'm looking forward to congratulating them later on today.
Yeah.
And so he came into my life, and I was just so thankful because I prayed for that. Yep. I prayed because, when you get to the point like, God, I've done everything I know. Can you please help me? Help me.
So you saw a reflection in the mirror.
Yes.
And you said, I got to do something.
Correct.
I kind of need to understand, what got you to 238?
Right.
Because, back in high school, you were a running back.
Yes.
You could fly, right?
Yes.
So what got you there? And then I want to talk about, from your reflection in the mirror, how'd you end up meeting with Patrick? And then all of a sudden now you're a health coach.
Yes.
Tell us on that in the journey.
Found myself ballooned up to 238 pounds. Now, how I got there was eating the wrong things, eating late at night, consuming too much sugar, and not getting enough exercises, not putting enough of the things that my body requires for it to function the way it's supposed to function. Mm-hmm. The things I was putting in my body were slowing it down with the foods that I was eating and the lack of exercise. And then also when you're getting older, your body slows down. Your body starts transitioning, and there was if you don't make any type of concessions or realize that, it just is going to come up out of seemingly nowhere. Yeah. But that's where it comes from, and it happens to everyone. So generally, I knew that if I took some preventative measures, then I could, can kind of get back into a workable, acceptable, body frame for me.
Yeah.
And so that's where I started. So that morning when I went there, Jeff, a lightning shed moment hit me, and then I left right out of there and I went straight to LA Fitness, and I joined and I got everything that they were selling. And it still took me a long time to kind of still get to the results.
That's amazing. So from the moment you joined the gym,
yes,
and you walk in and you struggled a little bit to find results, about how long was that struggle? And tell me about what you were doing or not doing right.
Yeah. Okay. Very good question, because there's a lot that I didn't realize I was doing right. It was 2016 when I joined, and I got the membership and I got the trainer package, and I'd gone through 5 trainers, and before I was fortunate enough to meet Patrick. And I'd seen Patrick in the gym, be working with other people, and you see other people in the gym, and he was already ripped up, cut up, and had a lot of folks working with him. And when it was time for me to change trainers again, I think he said, or I was like right around, it's like, hey man, you should let me train you. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, because I didn't know. I don't know, the apprehension or something. And then we quickly became to, it's like, okay, man, let's give it a shot. This is what I want to try to do. This, and this. I want to get down to this body frame. He says, okay, I'm going to give you a man's workout. We're going to get you. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And I said, we'll get you a man's workout, and we're going to start doing this. I said, okay. So I signed up. We're recording our workouts in our workout journal. And we were going for a while. So this is like 2018.
Got it.
2017, I want to say, maybe. Right around that cusp of that area. And I think we had taken some initial measurements of where I was, and it was like 238. We weren't weighing myself because we were all about, well, I want to be a certain weight. I want to be this size. And so we had put off me doing the measurements. And then we finally had the measurement day. And so I was looking forward to that day. I had no idea. And so Patrick said, okay, today's the day. And I got to the gym that morning and we started doing measurements. And Jeff, guess what? I did not lose a single pound.
Wow.
And I'd been in that gym working like a dog.
Yeah.
And everything, I was still basic, maybe 1 or 2 pounds down, but not nearly enough. Man, I sat there and Patrick was right there and I was sitting right there and I cried.
Wow.
I cried. I mean, this is how bad I wanted this. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? And it's just frustration when you want something so bad, and I put my heart and soul into this. And I was like, man, I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. And, Patrick's like, hey, man, we're going to keep doing this. We got to stay after it. And he kept telling me about my nutrition. His job as a trainer, to get me doing those things. But nutrition, unless somebody's going to come live with you and move in and get you that, it's a whole another area, that you really have to focus on. So you want to exercise, but this is it's 80% nutrition. It's not 80% exercise. Okay,
so that's really where your education has begun to factor in, right?
Yes. And many people have it wrong because I think I had it wrong because I thought it was 80% exercise and 20% nutrition. I thought I could just exercise it away because when I was younger, that seemed to work because like you said, I had a very good genes as far as my family are concerned. So I just thought that would take place, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So I just continued to work out, and my workouts did not ever stop. And believe it or not, the good news is this, though. This is the thing that I learned, too. This is important. So the fact that my weight was still kind of not where I wanted it, but I was still in there working out with Patrick, and we were regimented about shoulders, legs, chest, back. We're going down and hitting every one of them, even the ones I didn't want to do. And that's the thing about a trainer will make you do the things that you don't want to do. Once your trainer finds out what you don't want to do, guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be doing a whole lot of burpees.
That's right.
I was like, I hate burpees. I was like, oh yeah. Okay,
I saw a video of you doing burpees the other day.
And you saw the look on my face too. I was like, man, you can't be serious, huh? Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But so we said, you're going to learn to like this because that's the thing about this. You're going to do the things you don't want to do until it's not an issue anymore, okay? And then you're going to maybe learn to like it. How about that? You have to open your mind up to receive these things, to be open to the possibilities. I think many times people turn themselves off. Well, I'm not going to like that, and I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And Well, you just told yourself you didn't. All of my posts on social media, I put mind, body, soul.
Yeah, for sure.
I put it down there because it's true, especially in this arena. You got to be focused in. You got to be thinking about what you're doing. You got to be telling yourself, I'm going to get this. I am going to do this. I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care about any of that. Okay. So I'm going to put forth this effort. I'm going to take the suggestions. I'm going to do everything that they're suggesting plus. And, you really have to really take all that because it's already written out for you. But you have to get your mindset in the right place if you want results. It's like that for anything in life. Okay.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah. So you want to all this halfway stuff and, I'm just going to do it. It's not going to work here. Okay. So if you really want results and get there, this is what you're going to do. And then you can kind of understand what it takes. And it's really not difficult at all. Yeah. It's really more about unlearning the bad behavior.
Yeah, and that's where I want to go. That's where I want to go. We
want to unlearn the bad. Over time we've learned bad behavior. We have to unlearn it.
Yeah, correct.
And I am a health coach, which brings me how I got to health coaching. But let me fit it back up, Jeff, a little bit. So 238 pounds. I was crying in the gym. I'm with Patrick. I'm in the gym crying, grown man. But I guess that illustrated to anybody who was there, who saw me, that how important this was to me.
Yeah.
And after some time went on, I was able to find a nutrition coach.
That's what I need to hear.
Yes. I was able to find a nutrition coach, and through the magic of social media, her name was Melanie Castle. And Melanie, we found each other. She found me on social media. She had seen me, I guess, like we all see each other on social media. And she had reached out and asked me some questions. And I asked her some questions. And I asked her point blank. I was like, listen, I need help with my nutrition. Can you help me do this, this, and this? And she said in one word, yes.
There you go.
Now, look, I don't need the long answer, yes or no. Can you help me do this, yes or no? She said, yes, Michael, I can.
That's great.
And I think that's what many people have, the question that they have, because I don't think I'm far off from most people. And your question is, can a health coach help you? The answer is yes.
Yep.
How can a health coach help you? Your health coach is going to help you reinstall those good behaviors that you had at some point, or maybe not, but we're going to put those things in place and we're going to unlearn those bad behaviors. For example, we have to start putting in some good nutrition. We're going to have to start eating some fruits and vegetables, okay? We're going to have to cut down on the sugar, and then we're going to incorporate more protein into your diet. We want to realize what foods are our friends and which foods, all food you can have a relationship with, but you cannot overindulge because, we talked about sugar. Sugar does what sugar does, okay? So we understand that. But we still have to, balance that out, and you really want to make good decisions.
So you're all in.
Yes.
And that's beautiful.
Yes.
And so,
yes.
I work with business owners and entrepreneurs, and what we typically do is we go all into the business. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, if you look and you think, money, time I have to dedicate to the company. I got to make sure my employees are all working. Sometimes we avoid the most important things, family, relationships, and health.
Right.
And so obviously this has changed your life.
Oh my gosh.
And so how, because I'm looking at somebody who is out there running a company, just dragging, and their priority is not on their health. You talk to them and kind of get them to get back into it.
I mean, as a business owner, they have business priorities, and you got business, shareholders and investors and things like that. They want their money back and they want this and that, what you promised them. But at the same time, what you said was huge, because what you're trading your health for the money. Okay. And we all do that. So the system we live in, but at the same time, what about the person who goes and does that, who works and gets his company off the ground? But look at you at the end of it. You're overweight, okay? And you also got a myriad of health problems. So now when it's time for you to enjoy all this that you spent all your time making, you can't enjoy any of it, because you're going back and forth to the doctor. because you refuse to listen. That means you're probably pretty stubborn. Which is a trait
most business owners.
What you have to be. When I understand that, I understand that. again, that goes back to delegating responsibility, because you can't be everywhere at one time. Look at some of the most successful business owners, Bill Gates and my guy from Amazon. I was just talking about him the other day. Jeff Bezos. I mean, I love how he delegates and things, like he incorporates and ties other business together, even with Amazon Prime. You know, if you have, Prime, Amazon, you automatically get the Prime because we were watching the Saints game last night. So he's tied it all together. So it's a business how it's kind of allocated. It's not too much on any one part of the process.
Yep.
And when it's too much on that one part of the process, that's usually the business owner, because he's carrying it all to win or losing on his shoulders.
Yep.
Quarterback of the game. You win, Tom Brady, or you're going to be the other guy. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it comes with the territory.
I think the lesson there, even if let's switch back to health, you're saying it's mostly nutrition. And if you focus too much on exercise, you're not going to find the gains or the losses. And so between rest, nutrition, hydration,
stress relief,
sleep, and stress relief,
stress
right?
Relief.
Is it kind of like the 5 pillars?
Each one of those is a deep topic. You know what I mean?
Sure,
so,
for sure.
And especially because, and the first thing a person is going to say, well, if you had my life, you had to do everything I had to do. That's the first thing they're going to say.
Yeah.
You won't understand what it is to do my life, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. And that's true, but at the same time, here we are again. Your health is going to pay a cost for that. Now, let's talk about when you can actually see the physical effects of having stress, because stress produces a chemical reaction in your body that's going to produce a hormone. Okay, a hormone in your body. Cortisol, yes, which is going to produce fat cells. Okay, so you're constantly getting spun up, and you don't have maybe that one trip to Florida once a year for a weekend. We need to have some weekly stress relief incorporated activities. Walking in the afternoon, 3 miles is perfect. Deep breaths. When you look at all the things that you talk about, deep breathing, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth.
Yep.
In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You do that 3 times. That sets off another physical reaction in your body that triggers to your body that something else is happening. So you've manually physically changed your body. You signal to your body that, okay, we're changing now. By that, because your body feels that you're doing something different, and especially when you start doing it on a daily, weekly basis, your body's going to get used to it. And so when you start doing, your body's going, hey, are we ready to go? We're ready to go. We're ready to go. And my body just does that naturally every day, I mean, I'll just start changing clothes around 4:30, 5 o'clock, I don't even know what I'm doing, because I'm just used to doing it.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, muscle memory. And, and there've been a few times when I haven't been able to work out, or exercise because of work or with something. Invariably, something's going to come up, and then I'm kind of like trying to go to sleep, and I have too much energy because my body's like used to that. But even then, I can still use my breathing exercises to signal to your body, okay, let's calm down. You can tell your body what to do instead of being a victim by being dragged around by your emotions, because you're going to get, we're just spiritual beings filled with emotions.
That's right.
We're going to be feel like this today, but tomorrow we're feeling this, and today this, and we do it. So you want to be able to manage your emotions. Don't let your emotions manage you.
Tell me about how somebody, if they came to you,
yes, how
do you serve them? Is it a combination of nutrition, exercise, and everything? Because you're not a. Am I clear? You're not a nutritionist?
No, I'm not a nutritionist. My coach is.
Exactly. Yeah. And so you have a team.
Yeah, I have a team around now. Patrick, who's a
I want to hear about that, because that's what people need to hear.
Yeah. So, once I kind of got into it, Jeff, I knew I needed a good people around me.
Yeah.
So I got Patrick and Melanie, and I have all my friends in the gym and other people that we're friends on social media, and they exercise and I exercise, and we all see each other, and we all feed off because we're in each other's feeds all the time, and that's what, that's what people, you're around people that you like and that are doing similar things, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
I knew that I needed, some expertise, and that's why I went and got Patrick. I knew right when I got that lightning shed moment, I knew I needed to make a change. I knew that I needed help. And then after I had Patrick, and then I found Melanie, and man, that was all I needed, because I have all the internal motivation in the world.
Yeah,
you know
you
what I
do.
mean? That's how I feel. And you feel I'm just naturally energetic. I've been that way my whole life. And nothing has changed. And I don't want to lose any of that. I just don't want to lose any of that. And I think it's a strength of mine, so I enjoy it. I love being different places and this, that, and the other. So, and it's important for me to be, be my best person I can at all these things that I'm involved in. So how does a person get a health coach, or why would a person get a health coach? That's a very good question. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to sit down and we're with prospective people that want health coaches. I'm going to ask them, I want to ask you some questions before we do anything, and that's the same thing that was done with me. I'm going to ask you some questions in some very different areas. I want to ask you, what are you eating? I want to ask you, how much are you sleeping at night? What's your quality of sleep at night? How much water are you drinking during the day? When you wake up in the morning, run me through your morning like a normal work morning. Okay, so now we know we wake up at whatever time that is. The first thing you're going to do is go to the bathroom. What do you do after that? And I want to know what you're doing, and how long does it take for you to get dressed and for you to walk out the door? Because I want to see what your actions are. We can't correct what it is until we know what you're doing. How long is it till you have your first meal? Okay. So there are some very distinct things that need to be done if you want your body to respond. For example, most people, they'll get up out of the bed, or they'll get dressed, they'll have their coffee on the way out the door, and they won't eat until on their way to work, or maybe at work, or maybe wait till lunchtime and just kind of snacking. And then in the meantime, having coffee with all that sugar additives and all that kind of stuff, bunch of those. And then by the time you're into your first meeting, second meeting, and then you're going, then maybe lunchtime before you eat. You got to have a health coach or a nutritionist or somebody explain that to you. Yeah. And so you can understand, and then it starts making sense to you. And then you can kind of regulate how you're feeling throughout the course of the day. Now, when you're going in the course and you see all these fast food restaurants, yes. See, we're going to have to break up with those, okay? You got to break up with those. Let me tell you why. Because, granted, their fast food is was originally intended to be fast food, not to be your primary food source. Correct. And it's turned into be the primary food source for many families. Many people do not even know how to eat. Yep. I mean, grown folks. Yeah. And that's because this is what they were taught. Now, that's no fault of their own. But, this is where a health coach can come into play and show you, listen, this is what your body's wanting. When you're feeling like this, let me tell you why you're feeling like this. When this happens next time, this is what I want you to do. So let me ask you this. If somebody let's say I signed up with you to become a health coach, what does that look like for me? We meet weekly? Mm-hmm. Is this a lot of education? Would you send me to a nutritionist? Would you send me that? Or you have it all? When you sign me on as a health coach, first of all, when in weight loss, it's recommended that you really don't have to work out to lose weight. You don't have to work out to lose weight. Okay, so we don't meet. Okay, the questions I ask you are the questions that we're going to be talking about, that we're going to be directly focusing on. Your water intake, your sleep, your stress level, the nutrition, what your nutrition level consists of, and also your quality of sleep. Okay, those are the things that are going to impact you and impact what your body does. Okay, so we want to make sure we're putting in good nutrition. We're putting in good water, 64 ounces of water. You'll make sure all your mechanisms, your bowels are moving on a daily basis. We have to try to figure out, what do I have to do to break this? And so what's it going to take for me to break this cycle? And again, you just want to have the initial like, hey, I want to change, and you want to find somebody like me who you know is energetic, who knows, who I care about what happens to you. I put my videos out there. I felt just like you. You saw those videos in there, and Patrick was telling me, you got to do this exercise and that exercise. I didn't want to do it, but guess what? I did it. You know why? Because I wanted to success more than I wanted to continue to be overweight and unhealthy. Yep. I was willing to do whatever. I wanted to do it the right way with a good team of people, with Patrick and Melanie. Mm-hmm. Now, with Melanie is a health coach, and we're part of a team of coaches. Patrick is a trainer. Patrick, right? He trains people like physically. Melanie is a health coach with me and a bunch of us, and we help people with the nutrition, the thing that you're doing every day. Okay, you're as far as your fitness is concerned, you can kind of go into any dimension, however you want to do it. You can just walking, like I said, works great.
Are they going to meet with you weekly?
No, before we meet, I will ask you a set of questions about your health activities, and then I'm going to suggest to you what our minimal expectancies are, or how your body works best. So I'm going to be your one-on-one coach. That means, Jeff, that you and I are going to talk. We're going to talk once we start. We have a very specific program. So everyone is going to start on a Monday morning. So the Monday before we start, that Sunday, you and I are going to have a launch call. It's going to be you and me and another coach. And we're going to say, yes, Jeff, congratulations. Tomorrow's our big day. We are starting tomorrow. So tomorrow. So Jeff, tell me your actions tomorrow when you wake up. So tomorrow, I've already told you, tomorrow, whatever time you wake up, I want you eating within that first hour. Right? You get up at 5 a.m., you go to the restroom, then you're going through your normal morning. You can have your coffee, but I want you eating within that first hour. Now, after you eat, I do have a free app. It's called EatWise, and I want you to press a button. And from that moment on, your app is going to tell you when to eat the rest of the day. So even you can't mess this up. So you're going to eat 6 times throughout the course of the day. Now that's going to give your body guaranteed nutrition, but you're going to give your body very specific nutrition. When you're fueling your car, you put good gas in it, your car goes better. You put that 97, you put that 98 octane in, bing, you just driving, just flying around and full of energy. And when you put the lower octane in, or if you have water in the gasoline, you're sputtering along. That's kind of what you are doing, because you're starting to see your low energy. You're kind of dragging around. You're kind of forcing it a little bit. You're having to work too hard, but you're doing it. And that's creating stress. So one system affects the other. A lack thereof of one system is going to put undue stress on another. So for the first week, what we're going to do, I'm going to talk to you. We talked the launch call on Sunday. Monday, you're going to start. We're going to talk Monday evening, Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening, and Thursday evening. And we're just going to talk in the evening. And our conversation is going to go like this, because you have a family. I'll say, hey, Jeff, how did you do? How did you do today? Today is Monday. Tell me about your day. You're going to say, hey, Michael, I woke up. I made all of my fuelings today. I feel great. And I hit everything. And I'm looking forward to tonight. So I'll say, great, Jeff. Did you hit all of your fuelings? Did you eat on time? Because that's the most important thing. Did you eat on time? And so, yes, your answer is yes, you ate on time. And then great, we're going to talk tomorrow. And we're going to have that same call Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By Tuesday, you're going to be a pro at this. Really, by Monday, because your body's going to you're going to notice very quickly that your body's responding differently, okay? Like you haven't felt in a long time. And you want to continue that. So we're going to continue that. And by that time, your body's going to be entered in what's called fat burn. And did you know that your body has its own internal fat burning mechanism? Okay, very similar to ketosis, very similar. Okay, so your body's actually going to be burning fat. So the fat that people that are complaining about, this is not water weight. This is actual fat that's gone. So many times people will go to the gym and they will think they lost a couple of pounds when in fact all they did was just lose some water. Okay, so that's not, you really still didn't affect the problem. I am into fat burning to never come back again. And I've been this size for 3 years and it hasn't come back. Okay.
That's good.
And when people say that, how is that possible? I definitely learned how my body operates, and I'm all the better for it. And it's just like that too.
Yeah, to me, that's the biggest light bulb moment. You took the time to get the education.
Yes.
Then after that, you committed and you actually executed.
Yes. And I think the most important thing was to find the right people, because
that's right. The team.
You found the right people. I found Patrick. I found Melanie, or they, and because when the student's ready, the teacher will appear.
That's right.
And I was ready to hear Patrick. I was ready to hear Melanie. I'm like, hey, I knew they were the right people. I knew it. Yeah, I just knew it. And so I was like, man, I just got to do what they say. And I did what he said. I did what she said. And I got results. And now I get to show, I've showed a whole lot of people, Jeff.
That's right. That's right.
I've showed a whole lot of people, and it's been wonderful. And again, I don't talk about my relationship with anyone, because I'm the only crazy one that put my life out there, and I'm glad. I didn't even know why I was doing it at the time. But again, I'm a spiritual person, Jeff. And God knows why he has us doing stuff.
That's right.
Well before we do.
Yep. And you look back and it all makes sense.
And it all makes sense, you know. It all makes sense now. And so I'm not going to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, because I see so many benefits of this, and I feel great, and I get to inspire many people. And a lot of folks get to me, and some folks may not want to talk and just say, hey, man, just tell me what you did, because sometimes it's a hard discussion to have.
Yeah, correct.
You know, and I understand all that. But, hey, man, I was you. I had... You know, everybody has things they got to deal with, and I was able to deal with those things. And this has just been a welcome, wonderful addition,
I love that.
And a lifetime adjustment for my life and many others.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, you know, I was thinking about that. You said, typically you start with a client on a Monday. Mm-hmm. When your episode comes out, it's not only going to be Monday, it's going to be January 1st.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this is the trifecta.
Right.
Right. This is the time to start.
Yes.
So we're going to put some information in the show notes, how they get in touch with you and all that. What I'd like you to leave us with is, because you engage with so many people.
Yes, I do.
I want you to tell me, what do you want to leave people? How do you want to leave them when you engage with them, whether it's a stranger or somebody you work with?
I want people to feel good.
Yeah.
I want people to say, my God, I'm so glad I met Michael Roberts. I'm so glad I met him, you know, and because that's what I mean. I said, what do you think I've said about Patrick? And what do you think I've said about Melanie and everyone? I said, man, I'm so glad I've met them. And Patrick's wife, Victoria, I'm so happy I've met them. And they're just wonderful people. And it's what you prayed for.
Yeah.
And you get a chance to give somebody a gift that they get to take with them and get to show other people. And I want to be able to give people that feeling good. People may not remember a lot about you, but they will remember how you made them feel.
Amen.
And I want to make people feel good. I want to make people feel like you came to the right person. I want to make people feel like, hey, I care about you. And I am you, and I want to show you this because it was shown to me. I was given this gift, and I'm giving this gift to you. And you can put this to bed, and you can help all kinds of people, and I can show you just exactly what this is. And it's been wonderful, and I'm going to keep doing it.
I love it. Thank you, man.
Right?
Thanks for joining us this week on I Finally Get It. For more light bulb moments like this, like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Check out the show notes at ifinallygetit.com to find out what Mike is up to today. See you next week when we sit down with Dustin Webb. Dustin is actually going to be in front of the camera this week, and we're going to sit there and we're going to take a look back on 2023, and we're going to look forward to 2024. We would love to hear from you about what you want to see in the future and what you want to finally get. If you're a business owner and you've had a discovery that can help other business owners, please reach out to me at jeff@ifinallygetit.com.